As an avid music enjoyer, I think it's really important to feel very connected with the music. And that's where vinyls come in. Now, for many, I feel like people think vinyls are kind of a way to directly support the artist, which, isn't really true, but also because it makes you feel like you own a piece of the album. And that's really special to a lot of music enjoyers. So today, I decided I'm gonna make a playlist with every single one song from each vinyl I own. Let's get into it. Something really important to me, at least, with creating this playlist is I wanted it to have a concise beginning, middle, and end. So that means picking an intro, an outro, and kind of just a mid switch for the track list. So for an intro, I have a lot of beautiful intros. I own a lot of great vinyls with a lot of great intros. But there was one where I knew it had to be it. And that's Please Excuse Me for Being Antisocial right here. It's just such an amazing album, but specifically the intro with that multi-parted opening. It's just real special and just so honest and just real switch up from what I think a lot of early Roddy Ricch music was. And I think it really cemented him as a great artist. And even though some of his recenter, he hasn't dropped in a while, have fell a little flat, I feel like he does intros amazing. And it sets the correct tone, like Live Light Fast, and especially intro, um, is just a great, intro. I'm repeating myself because the song's called Intro. Whoops. But yeah, I just think it's just such an amazing intro and sets just a great tone, and we can kind of go for an aggressive start, and then I feel like we can kind of slowly go down to a little bit more melodic, a little bit more magnum opusy, and just some really honest and careful picks for the ending of this. We had that energy in the intro. But for my second pick, I had to follow something up with even more energy, even more hype. Just make sure you really get into that feel. And coming off of that, we got Don't Be Dumb by ASAP Rocky, and the song I picked off this is Stop Snitching. I think, in my opinion, this is probably the best song off of Don't Be Dumb. It's just a very energetic, really aggressive song, and Sauce Walka and ASAP Rocky do their parts fantastically. I don't think anybody expected that Sauce Walka feature to be as amazing as it was. No offense to Sauce Walka. I know he's pretty good. I haven't ever listened to a full album by Sauce Walka, so maybe that's something I got to do in the future. But I think just it sets that energy. If intro was here on the energy, like pretty high, but still like not max, Stop Snitching is like the max you can go. It's just got that tone, that energy where you just like, oh, you wanna keep on listening, and you gotta finish out the song. Got a great intro, great hook, great verse one, great verse two, like it's just an amazing song overall, and I think it just really helps intro just shine even more, where the energy from that gets transferred into something that'll hype you up even more. And so we'll see if you can continue that with the third song. Third song was kind of hard to pick because I got so much energy already in the album, so I had to find a song that kind of matched that energy. And I found actually the perfect song on Call Me If You Get Lost by Tyler the Creator. Now, I'm going to be real. This album's just okay to me. There's a lot of Tyler the Creator fans. I can see why. I really liked Chromacopia. Like a lot of what's off Flower Boy. I like some of the cuts off Igor. Igor is kind of an interesting album for me. I go through phases of liking it and then not liking it as much. But Tyler the Creator, amazing artist overall. But Call Me If You Get Lost, there's only one song that I knew could fit the energy of Stop Snitching perfectly. That's Lemonhead Lemonhead is just such an amazing song with the 42 Doug feature also bringing that energy, but also just an amazing Tyler the Creator verse and just like that energy, that beat, just the rambunctious bun dun 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 bump, just amazing beat, amazing rapping from both people on the song, and just has that energy of where, you got to get up and just kind of just, you know, throw yourself at it. You just got to love it, you know. Such an entertaining song to listen to, and that's really what we're looking for right now. Song number 4, let's go. Now, it's kind of hard to follow up Lemonhead, Stop Snitching, and Intro all in a row. So I figured we would take something a little bit calmer and then kind of hype yourself up again. I think Don't Come Out the House is a great take off of Not All Heroes Wear Capes by Metro Boomin. It's just such the amazing whisper part by 21 Savage. I I get into some 21 Savage, but not as much as some other people do. I recognize that he's a great artist, but sometimes it's just not it. But what he does at the start with the whisper rap, it's it's creepy. That's the best way to explain it. Is it just kind of makes your spine like tingle because you feel like he's there, so whispering to you, and then he hits you with those verses once the beat actually comes up, and just a little bit less whispery, and it just gets so exciting so quickly. I think that's just a great thing because you kind of get to calm down. You get that outro of Lemonhead where you're like, oh, and then it's like the start of Don't Come Out the House comes out of nowhere, you know, and then we have just an amazing rapping performance by 21 Savage. Honestly, I was thinking about picking the intro um, with Metro Boomin and Gucci Mane. You know, that's an amazing intro, but intro by Roddy Ricch had such higher highs. And honestly, if it's not the intro from Not All Heroes Wear Capes, it's Don't Come Out the House. And I felt like this was the perfect place to put it and, kind of get that creepy, little tingle, but also get the like just pure aggression still. Little mix up of emotions. But song 5 is a little. I'm gonna be honest. I fucking hate Whole Lotta Red. It's too long. It's just too much of the little baby voice. Now, I can understand the appeal to some people, but to me, the appeal's just not there. I can find some higher highs on music, on what's some other Cardi projects I really like. I mean, I wouldn't say I like music. I feel like that album's also bloated. But Whole Lotta Red, I own it on vinyl. I don't really know. I think it came in a bundle with some other ones, but I had to grab a song off of it. So I grabbed the only song I could think of that would kind of, be in that chill mood that Don't Come Out the House was at the intro. I was like, I don't really want to grab Sky, but I'm going to have to grab Sky. It is honestly a basic bitch pick. That's okay. I think it's okay to have basic bitch picks. And I just think, in all, Sky's one of, if not the greatest song on this album. It's really hard to overlook that. I understand there's some better cuts with, the Kanye features pretty okay, the Kid Cudi features pretty okay, but I actually found that I liked the later half of this album much more than the beginning half, and weirdly enough, it was without the features. I didn't care for most of the features at all, so it's just really surprising that Cardi, this album, isn't great. But Sky, fantastic song. Everybody knows it. Wake Up. It's the first of the month. All right. But what are you going to do? I have to put it here somewhere. And I figured you kind of get the sleepiness from 21 Savage. Why don't we go with the wake up? Because what should 21 Savage do? Wait. I had to get a little creative with this next spot, but it's okay. I picked God Does Like Ugly by Jid. I think that's a great album. Honestly, one of the most enjoyable rap experiences I've had for the last year, um, along with Don't Be Dumb and the new Fetty Wap album's top tier. I'll have a video talking about that at some point, I'm sure. But God Does Like Ugly, just amazing project overall. Now there was a couple spots I could have grabbed. So I could have grabbed Community. However, I really didn't want to pick Community because that honestly felt more like a Clips song than a Jid song. It honestly felt like it was featuring Jid and was it mainly Clips because Clips is just they do the most there. They do the most. They and I that's not saying Jid's part isn't impressive. Jid is always an impressive rapper, and I just felt like I found more sustenance in Pusha T and Malice in that song. So I was like, don't really want to grab that because I would like to find a good Jid song because Jid is so talented. I could have gone for VCRs, could have gone for a little bit lower tempo. I love VCRs. VCRs is probably my favorite song off of the album. Same with Glory. Glory's a fantastic cut. But I took Work because it also has that energy, has that, factor. I don't know why I keep on doing that, but it's really fun. Uh, it's just a really fun track. You can get with it. Hey, if you turn this on, I'm gonna start bobbing my head, kind of moving my shoulders. Hey. Just a fun track. Need something like that. We got Sky and then Work. Two really fun tracks. Really fun tracks. You'll catch me going like this. Actually, while I was listening to the collection of songs I brought, I was doing that a lot. I found myself going like this in between those two songs because it's just so fun. I just love those songs, and honestly, Work itself is also like a great rapping experience by Jid. I was able to see him live, and God, he is just so amazing live too. But really talented rapper, one of the most talented rappers in the game right now, Jid. God Does Like Ugly. I'm picking Work off of it. Now the next vinyl, I like the pick, but you got another album with a really really great intro track, Heroes and Villains by Metro Boomin. Now I didn't pick the intro track obviously, but I did pick Superhero, which is a normie pick. I'll admit it. There's some better cuts on here, but Superhero is just that song, man. Everybody knows Superhero. Everybody loves Superhero. Hey, you turn that on and people, hey, just people love Superhero. I love Superhero. I think it's a fantastic track, and honestly, I had to see the Superhero on here. If it wasn't Superhero, I it's it's not a good list. For Jack Boys, which is song number 8 on the playlist, I took Gang Gang with Jack Boys, Sheck West, Don Tolliver, really big player in that song. It's just so great of a song, and it's a little bit on the lengthy side, which is whatever. But I really enjoy it. I really enjoy Gang Gang. Jack Boys in general is a really solid album. I don't go back to as much as I should. I should go back to a lot more than I do, but I don't. That's okay. Uh, just overall, really solid song, and I could have picked some other cuts off of it. It's just I could say the same thing for all of these albums, but it had to be Gang Gang because I just like that song so much. It's my list, so fuck you. Song number 9, Two Words off College Dropout. Just such a great album. Could have picked anything else, but Two Words got that energy, got that fascination. I love Two Words. This whole album's goaded. Uh, we're done. Damn, I was hella quick with that one, bro. Don't need to say much, bro. It's the fucking college dropout. What else is there to say? This album's like peak, bro. Goddamn album of the century, man. Goddamn peak. I apparently picked Go First off of Blame It on Baby Deluxe. Why the fuck do I have this? Uh, who bought this out? I know I didn't buy this vinyl. Did did somebody buy me this vinyl in like a 4 pack? What the fuck? I what? Don't use Microsoft Clipchamp. It sucks dick. Rodeo by Travis Scott. The song I picked off of here is Antidote. I really love Antidote. It's kind of creepy, but also really envelope pushing for the time it was released. Really important uh, album for Travis Scott. You know, it's the first album in his career that like was really fucking pushing him to be a fucking icon. We'll get to that motherfucker later. Um, but like it's just an amazing album, really fucking genius of him, honestly. And I I don't know what to say, man. It's Antidote. What can you say? It's just a good song, you know. That it's good. We got Bully by Ye. Fucking amazing album. I'd just like to say, uh, this probably coming out a couple weeks after he dropped it. Um, but it's just such an amazing album. I picked Bully off of it, title track. But I just really love that CeeLo Green, chorus. And I think Kanye's rapping on this is honestly so great for where he is in his career. He's kind of falling off. Well, not falling off, but he's slowly putting out kind of not so amazing music anymore. You look at the Vultures era. Vultures 1 wasn't that bad. I'll express my feelings about Vulture 1 in a different video. But Vultures 2 was god awful. And Donda 2 wasn't very good either. But Bully was a pleasant surprise, I think, for most people. It was honestly really solid. I don't love that there's AI on the album. Nobody does. But Bully with CeeLo Green is just an amazing song. And honestly, top three on the album. I would give it top three. Um, we'll get into that more later. Yeah, Utopia. Utopia's all right. Not his. It's not good. Well, it's good. It's not good for Travis Scott standards. It's very hard to kind of follow up some of the other albums he's had, and then you bring out an album like Utopia. It's just so disappointing, and I didn't go for Fiend. I'm not a bitch. I went for Meltdown with Drake. I'm not a big Drake fan. You'll see that later. I got a lot more Kendrick than I do Drake. But I just I I really like Meltdown. Some great verses by Travis Scott and Drake, and just it's so great when those two get together and really connect, because it's just so fun. They're having fun. You can tell they're just such great rappers that when they link up, it just makes for a success almost every time. Fucking Savage Mode 2 or some shit. Um, this album has some bangers on it, like Run In, Glock in My Lap. Um, I honest to God, I almost picked Snitches and Rats interlude, which would have been really funny. I remember loving that interlude, and like, fuck, when did this album even come out? Because I think I was bumping that interlude. It came out 2020. I was probably bumping that interlude probably a week after it came out, and that was one of like two songs I was bumping off of it. And it's not even a song; it's an interlude. I was so close to picking that, but I decided to pick "Glock in My Lap." Just a little bit more fun than Runnin'. I find Runnin' to be a bit too like repetitive, but Glock in My Lap, just kind of has that aura. I why'd I say aura? You get what I'm saying though. It just has that feeling of not giving a shit, and some pretty good rapping by 21 Savage. As good as rapping as you're going to get by him, to be honest. You might say, Lincoln, you've already covered Bully. I have. Oh, I have. Um, I I was like, what other song do I grab off of Bully other than title track Bully? I was like, well, I should grab probably the second best song on this album. So I grabbed Father with Travis Scott. That song is just so well made and just such a rapping performance by Ye and Travis. The uses of the samples here are just so creative, and I really like kind of the in between parts between Ye and Travis, just really bridges the gap there, and it's just so good of a song. you know, People argue it could be the best. I don't think it's the best, but I could understand why people think that. I think All of the Love is honestly the best song on the album by far, but that's for a different time. I picked Father just because it fit the energy and was good. It's a good album. It's time to cover Vultures 1. I know everybody loves this album. Who am I even joking? This album is mid at best. Especially for a Kanye West album, it's considered bad. If it was honestly anybody else's, if it was considered just a Ty Dolla Sign, it would be one of Ty Dolla Sign's most coherent projects. Not saying that Free TC isn't a great project. I actually really wanted to get that album on vinyl. It's just so hard to find. I swear they didn't print them, bro. What the hell? But Vultures, I had to pick a clear cut off of it. I picked Vultures, the title track. I find the just verses on that to be the cleanest. I know a lot of people don't care for the track. I really like the Ty Dolla Sign like huge verse he has for like the second half of the song. The Lil Durk sorry, feature is okay. It does what it's supposed to. Kanye's there, but Ty Dolla Sign really steals the show with that verse. I especially like where he shouts out, Free TC, Money and Thug, just trying to have a good time at the club. I really love that part. The little outro to his verse, it's just so magical and just such a great rapping performance by Ty. It's probably one of the greatest rapping performances we've seen from Ty Dolla Sign across any project. I'm not so sure about features, but I know it's a pretty damn good verse by Ty Dolla Sign. I was surprised by how great it was on my first time listening to it. I'm still surprised by this day. I've listened to it how many times. So I picked Vultures just because it kind of goes off at the end to a little bit more subtle, a little bit more calm by the end. But still has that energy at the start, with Ye and, Lil Durk. So it's just such a great song to bridge the gaps between middle and going into the end. Off of Birds and Trap Sing McKnight by Travis Scott, I picked Goosebumps. Big surprise. Birds and Trap is okay. I find it to be one of the least entertaining Travis Scott listens I have had. But by no means is it bad. I actually know a guy who really loves this album, and I'm sure if he sees I pick Goosebumps, he's gonna be like, "Oh, you fucking normie." But I don't know. I really love Goosebumps. That Kendrick verse, just Travis going off, bro. It's just so good, and it's hard to find a better rapping performance with those two. They just do so good, and it's so creepy and kind of slow and melodic at times. It's just really got it all, and it's just so nice. How many times am I going to say nice? Jesus Christ, just. Yeah, I picked Sicko Mode. No, of course I didn't, you fucking tools. I picked Skeletons off of Astroworld. And you might be like, why'd you pick Skeletons? Because I'm a fucking Kanye listener. I love Skeletons. Why else? Uh, No, I just really like Skeletons and all. Fun song, really, really fun. Actually, I it's hard to describe because I was just like, what song do I feel like resonates the most with me? I was like, well, Skeletons. And that's just kind of where I landed. I was just like, this song is the song to be on this. That's all. I have no good reason for putting it here. I just really like Skeletons. Oh god damn it! Stop talking about songs I like. Oh Lincoln, you're such a normie bitch. You wouldn't understand what To Pimp a Butterfly is about. Fuck you. That's why I picked King Kunta, bro. I fucking love that song. That song's so goated. Alright's also a really good option from there. Wesley's Theory, pretty fucking goated song if you ask me. But that's an intro. I can't pick that, bro. I need intro. You is pretty good. But just I it's hard for me to think of a song better than King Kunta because you turn that shit on, everybody's just chilling, man. You open up, bro, it's nice. You can feel the jazz. I don't know if it's even jazz. You feel something in yourself where it's like warm in your heart because it's just some form of music that just feels so correct. Have you ever felt music be correct? Well, that's what King Kunta is off of To Pimp a Butterfly. That's the best way to explain it. Maybe I should have spaced off the Kendrick Lamar's like a little bit more. But I got Bitch, Don't Kill My Vibe by Kendrick Lamar. Now, there's a lot of songs on here that I was like, well, I could have picked Swimming Pools, a lot of other songs. I like I like swimming pools. I like swimming pools a lot more than I used to. Uh, but Bitch Don't Kill My Vibe is just really one of those songs where you can sit back and, you're kind of feeling it. You can hit them with one of these. Bitch Don't Kill My Vibe. Bitch Don't Kill My Vibe. Like, you can just kind of do stuff like that. It's just so chill and so nice. And just lets you let loose. Honestly, put on the song after a hard day at work where you're like, I don't really want to do anything. I just want to sit at home and play video games and chill. And then your boss calls you, you put on this song, and you don't pick up for that call. You just don't. You thought I was done with Don't Be Dumb? Well, don't be dumb, you dumb bitch. Anyway, I picked Punk Rocky. Why? I just really like Punk Rocky. I find I resonated with it a lot. I find as a writer, I write a lot of music in my pastime, but I find where he says, "How do I write love songs? I don't even like them song." Um, it just kind of resonates because it's how do you write some of these emotional songs, and he does it so well here, where he kind of talks about love and just things that he normally wouldn't, and it's so out there for ASAP Rocky, but it just works so well. It's just such a beautiful song, and I think the first day it came out, I listened to it about 50 times. I just fell in love immediately. And my cousin has some different feelings about the song. He would prefer to listen to some other Rocky songs, but I don't know. This song is the shit for me, and the nice alternative color cover. What the fuck? Nice alternative cover. I don't know, real basic ass cover, but it's special, so I got it. Time to track down the other fucking five or whatever. Fuck. Yeah, like 808s and heartbreaks. Yeah, I don't really either. It's just okay. Uh, I picked a RoboCop. No, I'm just fucking with you guys. I picked Love Lockdown. I really like that song. One of the more interesting songs on the album. I could have picked Heartless. I really wanted to pick Welcome to Heartbreak, but I almost felt like that was too close to an intro. Like, I could have put that as my intro song and nobody would have said anything about it, even though it's not an intro, which I think is crazy because it's called Welcome to Heartbreak. But I love Welcome to Heartbreak, but Love Lockdown, who doesn't like 6 minutes or whatever, four and a half, I think it's exactly 4.5 minutes of Love Lockdown. You know, I got no notes about this, so I don't really have much else to say about Love Lockdown. It's here, it's staying. Because I don't want Heartless. Heartless is low key overplayed, bro. Changed my mind. One of the greatest rap albums of all time. One of, if not my favorite, rap albums of all time is My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy by Kanye West. And I picked one of my favorite songs, if not my favorite song, on this album, Devil in a New Dress. You might say, Lincoln, why'd you choose Devil in a New Dress? That's a stupid ass question. That song is beautiful. Fucking magnum opus. Get the fuck out of here with your Runaway. You're fucking gorgeous. You're fucking power. Are you fucking 12 and going to the football stadium? Nobody says their favorite's Power. Nobody says their favorite's Flashing Lights. It's always Runaway or Devil in a New Dress. Those are the only two that should be an option there. And honestly, Devil in a New Dress is way better than Runaway, in my opinion. Um, you know, looking at my bitch, I bet she'd give your ass a bone. Looking at my wrist, said it'll turn your ass to stone. Stretch limousine, slipping rose all alone. Double-headed monster with a mind of its own. Cherry red chariot, excesses just my character. All black tux, shoes lavender. I never needed acceptance from all you outsiders. Had ciphers with easy before his mouth wired. Before his jaw shattered, climbing up the Lord's ladder. We still speed and run in science like they don't matter. Hater talking never made me mad. Never that, not when I'm in my favorite paper tag. Yo, just a fucking insane Rick Ross, bro. Fucking insane Rick Ross verse. Fucking insane Kanye verse. Get the fuck out of here. You got the fucking guitar solo. Jesus Christ. Ugh. Now, I'm gonna be real. Most people don't like Kids See Ghosts. And I don't see how that's possible, saying that this album is amazing. But I suppose I am a little biased because it's the first vinyl I ever owned. It's also another one of my favorite records of all time. I just love this album, everything it means, everything it was, everything it meant to me, everything it means to me, everything that it meant to the artists, every emotion they put in, every emotion I put in listening to it, just all culminated into a big love for the album. And honestly, it used to be a struggle going a day without listening to this album because it was just that amazing. I found it years after it released, but it's still one of my favorite projects. And I picked Reborn off of it. Reborn is just that song where, you know, if you're going through a hard time, you're going to listen to Reborn. If you're feeling any doubts in yourself, or if you're going to do something correct, or you're going to screw it all up, or you're listening to Reborn. Reborn is the most influential, most cultivating song on this album, and just most meaningful album or song on this album, because it just gives you that pure emotions of becoming anew and shutting off all your past fears and cares and turning into something more beautiful, more just better than the old version. And I think that makes for Kids See Ghosts to be so beautiful, because it is Kanye West and Cudi at some of their most emotional. More so Kid Cudi than Kanye West, but you do get those emotional cuts with Kanye West, especially in Cudi Montage and songs like that. Um, but Reborn, it's it's so beautiful. It just takes so little to listen to it where you just know it's it's a fantastic song made with a lot of thought and a lot of emotion. And honestly, if Reborn was on this album, I probably would like it 10 times less than I do. Imperial, another one of my favorite rap albums of all time. And not because of the vulnerability of Kid See Ghost, and not because of the just pure amazingness and awe that songs like Devil in a New Dress and Gorgeous and Runaway bring from My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, but in a realm of storytelling. If you look at storytelling, honestly, Denzel Curry on this album is doing his best rapping that he can be doing and laying out some of the greatest storytelling within some of those songs, painting a vivid message about inequality in America. And even though I myself, a white male in the Midwest, doesn't really worry about inequality because I never get treated differently. But I can see why a black male from Florida could be. And I think it's one of the most important albums for really storytelling and painting a vivid story that you want people to feel, you know? You feel all these things that have happened in him as Storm. He's rapping and he does it so concise. But then you have songs like Good Night where he says even if he doesn't make it to the next morning, he still wants everybody to have a good night. So he's just proving, even though he's been treated equal, that he still hopes everybody has a good night. And then If Tomorrow's Not Here is just a great ending to this album, painting a vivid story about what if tomorrow's not here. What does he fear? What does he hate? How can he fix himself? And can he become better if tomorrow's not here? Just paints a vivid story all in one outro where it really sums up the feelings you're supposed to be feeling from Imperial. A lot of people just look at it as an amazing rapping performance, but you really have to dive a little bit deeper to find some of the deeper cuts and storytelling that are in Imperial, which I don't think a lot of people do. If I'm being honest, I think Imperial is one of the most impressive albums that has been released since 2015. You know, it's just so amazing and just so beautiful. Where honestly, I don't know how this didn't make Denzel Curry mainstream. But honestly, I'm kind of glad it didn't make Denzel Curry mainstream. If it made Denzel Curry mainstream, Denzel Curry wouldn't be Denzel Curry. We would be having a lot different conversations. However, I do find, well, If Tomorrow's Not Here is a beautiful outro, I see a lot of the other songs on this track actually is better. I really like songs like Alt. I was really thinking about putting Alt as the intro, but I decided against it because I honestly liked intro more. I couldn't think of a better outro on any of these songs. Sure, I could have gone with Cuddy Montage, but that doesn't seem quite correct. Or I could have gone for uh what's another good outro? I mean, honestly, that was the only other one that could have been for me. So just having If Tomorrow's Not Here be one of the better songs on the album, but still not being the best, and having it be the best outro between all of these albums I've shown today, all these 24 other albums, just really tells you the impact and the feeling that you get from Denzel Curry's Imperial. And if you haven't listened to all of Imperial, I recommend you sit down, I think 45-ish minute listen, and just listen to it and just really think about what he's saying. I know he raps quickly, but he raps in a way where you can understand everything he's saying and feel every emotion that he's trying to make you feel. It's not arrogant, it's not in your face, it's not rambunctious, it's just Denzel Curry being Denzel Curry. Now, I think that's beautiful. Alright, guys, if you liked this video, make sure you guys subscribe, like, do all that fancy shit. If you want to see more videos talking about vinyls and stuff like that, I would love to do it. Love to make more albums about songs. I was thinking about doing a top 50 album list. If you guys want to see that, I would be more than happy to share with you guys. Because I do not own every album I would like to, and most of these aren't even going to be in my top 50 if I make a top 50 list. But I think it would be really fun to make. So if you guys want to see more, comment below, do whatever you want. I'll see you in the next